Hello, I am Alex Mack, known as Mac Daddy, and I am super psyched here for tonight's episode of Schmoebates. What? Oh shit! All right, so here at Call to Action, we have some badass people here to make some really badass debates, and I have my co-host, all around badass and just a really cool fella, is Brian, our local DJ. What's up, Brian?
Doing good. Doing good.
People still doing like the dabs. What is this?
I don't think so.
Oh my god!
People are still doing it. All right, people are still doing it. It's those younglings, those youngins that are still doing it.
Because I'm too old. Too old.
I don't know if you're kidding, but okay. All right, and we have our two competitors as well. We have a little guy known as a Mr. Doug Cassell. How you doing, Doug?
I don't think I'm really little. Not in, I don't know. It's about 10:42 at night over here, so this is gonna be fun. I'm doing good though. It's always fun bringing some Take 3 perspective over to the Call to Action family.
You're really gonna have to rep the Take 3 crew here. So if you don't,
I know, I got you.
You're gonna get some pressure from the gang. That's true, for sure. And one of our favorite fans for sure, Mr. Wiley Todd. What's up, Wiley?
What is up, everybody? I'm pretty hyped, but sick as well. You know what? I'm going to try my best. Let's fucking go.
Whoa! Ooh. I love that. I'm sick as well. I'm recovering, so I definitely know where you're coming from. We are going to be doing this really kick-ass debate. So we are going in some deep dive questions, asking, some questions can really focus on teams today and factions, obviously, which is, within Schmoedown League specifically. Now, we've had a whole bunch of team match drops very recently this week. Do you guys have a favorite team match you've seen from the tournament so far?
Yeah, that Shazam match.
Shazam? Oh my gosh, yeah.
My boys.
Right? Oh my gosh. Is Brendan low key your favorite rookie player?
All right, so it's tied between him and Smets. Legitimately, those two are just seriously two of my favorite competitors, personalities on the scene right now.
Well, they're such great guys. I don't blame you. What about you, Brian?
Gonna be honest, I have not been able to follow a lot of the teams matches because I have been busy with work and with finishing up this song. So I've been really working hard at it. So
we appreciate that song right away. That's for damn sure.
Which by the way, did you ever get to listen to it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I personally, we wanted to upload it today for this episode, for this Schmoebates episode. However, it was a struggle bus to try to find people to help me put this on audio since I was at work all day today. So I was like, someone help me, please. Come on. And so I wasn't able to put it on audio for this. So I was pretty sad. Yeah, unfortunately, but we will soon. It is a definite.
Hopefully this weekend.
Yeah. What about you, Wiley? What's that team recently you've loved?
Who's the boss and Inky and the Brain? Even though it's not a great match, I just love seeing who the boss win because that's my team. So, let's go all the way.
Right. Yeah. That was such a we knew what was going to happen. I mean, we had definitely a good guess, but I mean, they're both such great teams individually, for sure. Okay, well, let's not waste any more time. It's 9:45, 10:45 up there for you, Doug. So thanks again for hopping on.
And for me.
Yeah. And okay. Oh, yeah. And there for you guys. You guys are both on the East Coast for sure. Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive into it. Okay, so just to remind you guys of the format, we're going to do 60 seconds of introduction, letting you guys know what their answers are, opening statement, so to speak. And I'm going to be timing it on my little phone here with my little Action Live little icon right there. It's only the cool people have them, just saying. And Danny has it there for sure. And
I got my stopwatch as well.
Okay, you're good to go. Actually, you know what? You could be in control of the stopwatch in that case. Hey.
Gotcha.
Oh, Danny's on. Hey, Danny. I love you, girl. And
Danny and Danny.
Yeah, Danny's on.
Danny's.
Danny
What up,
squared. Danny squared.
And I'm gonna say, following that, we have 4 minutes of open debate. Where Doug and really kind of go at each other as far as really trying to poke holes in each other's thing. You want to come with point 1, 2, 3, etc. A point like an actual debate, and also 60 of closing statements, and really trying to reaffirm their arguments, but also making any kind of solid statements before we kind of make our make our decision between Brian and I. Now, also confirming, Brian, are you particularly like going for anyone, Doug or Wiley today? Are you like a little biased at all?
I'm not biased at all. I'm gonna be going here with I'm gonna be judging with an open mind, honestly. So there's gonna be no bias whatsoever. Whichever whoever's points stick out the best, then I'll grade it accordingly. So
well, we're sure as hell gonna try. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a call to action podcast, and we are all about our guys with the family and everything. However, we are not going to bring our biases, or at least definitely try not to bring our biases into these debates. We're going to go exclusively off of it. So let's hop onto it. Now, I have my coin. So to make the determination of who is going to give the opening statement. Doug, I believe you went for Bateman. Is that right?
No, I didn't. Wait.
I agree.
Yeah,
Kat.
no. Wiley went for Bateman.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Kat said Doug goes for Bateman.
There you go.
And the cat also said that Wiley was going for yeah.
My cat is actually the winning person of this debate. Let's be honest, guys. Okay. All right. And I'm letting it go. Bateman or Ghai? And the answer is
something broke.
Bateman. So that means you, Mr. Wiley. Go ahead. You got 60 seconds on the clock to give us your opening statement. And your first question is:
ready to go.
What faction deserves their own reality show?
Right.
Okay, so the 5 horsemen overall, they're a variety of different people. You got close to age, but they all have their own personalities. You got Bateman as the kind of quiet but sassy type of guy. You got the very angry human being, Mr. Roca. You got Riley, who's the chill guy. And then, of course, you got Dan Merle, which is also the quiet, knows a lot of knowledge. And then you got Tom Dagnito. Okay, so for a reality show, you need these crazy episodes that stuff go on. So, like, for example, Tom brings the faction to a strip club to help them calm down before a competition. Okay, they're there, and there's this whole ensues that goes down. Also, you can have another episode of Dan being the best player, and everyone around them is getting jealous, and they start getting arguments, and they start like going after each other because
5,
who's the best.
4,
and
3,
Roca
2,
be angry.
1.
Okay, Brian, what were your big takeaways?
I really want to hear Doug's first before I make an assessment, because this is interesting. This is interesting so far. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something I definitely kind of took away was that, the excuse me, the Horsemen is a very big group, and therefore you get a variety in age, a lot of different personalities, a lot of bold personalities potentially. So that would make an interesting show. And it's like, and let's hear from you, Doug. In your case, the question is, again, What faction deserves their own reality show? Yeah, 6 seconds.
Guys, let
ready?
me pitch
And-
you.
Go.
Guys, let me pitch you what would be the greatest version of a reality show. Think real world, think road rules, think the let's be honest, the reality of reality, the royalty of reality when it comes to reality TV. And the best faction to give you that is the dungeon. Do you wonder why? Because the dungeon is sought after to know their secrets becoming training. So when you get into that whole field, it's less about the drama and more about building building this dungeon up from what they are. You already got kind of samples from the Facebook post that Kaiser and Smashers posted, and it's a fun watch. It's something that will not only show you what they can do, but it'll show you how much fun it is to be a part of that faction.
Time's up.
What is that?
That is the Death Star alarm.
Is
You can get it as a ringtone.
And you want it?
I have it as my alarm to wake
I was
to wake me
Jurassic
up.
Park.
Oh,
No,
very
if I wanted to go Jurassic Park, I have which you know what? I will screw that. I will go with the T-Rex roar. How about that?
All right. Well, I'm excited. I like T-Rexes. I like dinosaurs.
Yep. So
Speaking of which, we have some people in the comment section kind of mentioning specifically who they would choose as theirs. I'd say Danny, he says he would choose a Misfit Mean Girls reality show. I'd be in for that. And Jeremiah says, I would go with the Time Machine. Can you imagine the different social tiers? That would be pretty amazing. I agree.
Cool.
That would be pretty awesome. Okay, so what were your big takeaways, Brian?
Okay, so when it came to Wiley's, opening when it comes to the Horsemen, I do like that idea of just opening it up with Deck, bringing everybody to a strip club and all this stuff, and it's like, that's something that I think Top Deck would do. But when it comes to Doug, it was like, the big takeaway there, it's a reality of a reality of a reality. And it's less about drama and more about building the faction, which honestly, I think I personally would like to see a show like that. But if you want something that's going to be like all over the place, it'll be Horsemen. But so far, both opening statements, they got me intrigued for the debate round. I don't have a clear winner right now. But
of course, I hope not. That would be like, that would definitely defeat the purpose. Okay, yeah, for sure. It comes down to, do you want a more of a traditional reality show with the Horsemen with bold personalities, or do you want something a little more hyper focused, with the dungeon, more training, or it's a little more like a team, like an active team working with each other, trying to lift each other up, something a little more fun as well. Okay, now. Let's go and hit it with 4 minutes of active debates. At some points, like I mentioned, Brian and I might interrupt you, just ask you some questions to help clarify as well. So please answer them when needed. And ready, Brian? Are you gonna put it on the clock? 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Right there.
4 minutes. Okay. And let's go.
Boop.
All right.
Go.
So first of all, you that you want to see them go into and learn all about it, right? That's what you said. But the problem with that is that's not entertaining. Okay, once you find out someone's strategy, you don't go into that much. Like, you find it out, it's over with. With the Horseman reality show, of course you want drama. Look how Real Housewives, those make gangbusters of views. Okay, first of all, and then so you have the arguments between the factions. You see them come together, break up, come together, break up, and plus there's so many different stakes you could take, because alone you could do a season just on Danito doing training stuff, and then also you could do like stuff like Roca fighting with Ben and having the conversations. We have heard that before. Riley in a rut, like them getting angry at Riley for being in a rut in matches. Then also you could have be like a whole, like I said, like a council of them just sitting in a room, like Big Bang Theory style, and just sit in there and like they talk about how Dan is running the show and they just argue it.
All right, ding ding. Let me talk here for a second. All right, so you're basically pitching a show that's just going to be scripted drama. Here's what I'm pitching: a show like Hell's Kitchen, a show like Ultimate Fighter, a show like Real World, a show that shows you, and those shows got actual views, actual numbers, long-lasting TV series. Those shows were what brought people in. You have someone abrasive, not abrasive in the offensive term, but abrasive in making you do things in Kaiser. You have people that are striving to get belts. You have people that are striving to be better than they are. And that is what the faction is about.
Now, Doug, it sounds like you are making something a little more for like not just a reality show, but also like a traditional game show almost, such as like Nightmares as well. Is that correct?
No, I'm making it more like Hell's Kitchen, which is a competition show. But if you also heard me, it's Ultimate Fighter in that aspect. But then I bring it back to the real world because you're not actually exiling anybody. With the draft coming in next year, this is something that we're going to want to see because everybody's going to strive to be a champion.
Well, that doesn't matter in a reality show. There's no ultimate goal, okay? At the end of every reality show on Bravo and whatever that stuff is, they always have a counselor. What did you say in this certain episode, and how does it affect the of your relationship and all that? Reality shows are about relationships. If we wanted to know about a storyline or a tournament, then we would be watching like American Idol, for God's sakes. That's not entertaining.
Reality shows are about competition or about building each other up. Yes, your reality shows that you're putting up are the smut of reality. I'm talking about the real reality in which it's not scripted. I'm talking about reality where you see people in the real life in doing real things, and which, let's be honest, we're tired of the smut. We want to see something real. We want to see people build up. We want to see what's going to happen next year in the draft. And who's perfect for that? Kaiser and the Smasher. You want to know why? Because they already do TV shows.
Okay, I'm gonna pause the time right here. I like all the points that you're giving. So then you have 1 minute left. I want you to pitch like the kind of reality show that you want to see for both of them. I want you
to both in the same show.
Yeah, if you were both were like the showrunners, right? And you wanted to make a show for it, I want you to pitch what that would look like. All right, resuming time. No.
Mine would look like it would start out with John Roca and all them sitting in a room and deciding what they need to do. Everyone has their own style of figuring out what they want to do. You got John Roca saying, hey, we need to look through this book. We got Bateman saying we need to look through this book. But Tom would go out of the way to figure out some kind of unique style to study. And with that, the whole show would go in hijinks and stuff. So like a reality of Tom doing this stupid stuff and maybe Roca or Ben getting angry at them for doing that.
Okay, and what you're pitching is literally scripted reality, it's been smut for years. I'm pitching an actual reality show where you see people live their lives and do stuff to make themselves better. What we probably want to see as people is something that's uplifting. And if you see Smets go into Smets leading up to finally getting that inner geekdom belt, how great would you feel if that's where that leads? I love it. I love it.
Oh,
wow.
I'm sorry. Can we say the real rock star of this show today is actually just those sound effects?
The sound bites are on point.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Dude,
well,
this is.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty intense. It sounds like there are some points you guys were going towards very different types of shows. Right off the gate, everyone that's watching us, there's a handful of you guys that are watching right now. Who do you guys think won this debate? Was it Doug Cassell, with pitching his idea with no smut, very uplifting, where it was all about, these real relationships within the dungeon.
I love
Paul,
Kel-
can I get an
hold
amen?
on.
Paul,
But
can I get an amen?
I love Kelsey's comment. The Tyrannosaurus Rex won the debate.
Oh, it's like I mentioned, now that's like, then you kind of pitched it something very similar to, Hell's Kitchen, these long running reality shows. Now, alternatively, you had Wiley pitching The Horsemen, which is a very different feel. You have a bigger group, you have a lot of different bold personalities, where there is not one specific goal, where everyone has their own goal they're working towards. Now, where it's really focused on the hijinks of, these relationships and things happening, and, the relationships and how they change has, as some people get belts and other people don't. But also the argument was, is it too smutty? Is it obvious? It's too obviously scripted. Now, something I was surprised that you didn't touch on all that much is that all reality shows are scripted. And so, in theory, even Kitchen Nightmares and a lot of those other ones are scripted as well. So I'm surprised you didn't touch on that. But that being said, that's totally fine. But do you guys have any, say, Brian, did you have any final questions or kind of comments you kind of want them to answer?
Well, I like the way that it's, that Wiley opened up was, was that it's, the way that he was like pitching everything on how he wanted to do it. And I love when Doug just came back at him and he just said it's gonna be a scripted drama, which personally for me, when I look at reality shows, I want there to be a lot of fun with it, and I want it to grab my attention. And just the way, like, if the dungeon were to have a reality show, I want it to be a complete clusterfuck of a season. just so that way, I want there to be more and more and more, because that's the kind of reality show that I want. And then Wiley countered that, and he says reality shows are about making relationships, which I agree with that. And then again, Doug coming back with it, that Wiley's, Horseman kind of show is gonna be scripted. Had you made the case, Doug, for your reality show to be like completely like off script, and to just let them just free reign it, then I would have been like, whoa, that would have been something that would have got me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a scripted drama that I want to see, I would go with Doug. I would go with Doug on this one.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, as far as like, it just comes down to personal preference and what kind of shows, reality TV shows, or just shows in general that you like. I personally, if I were to pick one of these, just based on the argument of, like you mentioned, uplifting or drama, relationships or anything, I personally was actually leaning towards Wiley, to be honest. And I say that because, it is much more of a traditional, setup to a reality show where it is like there is all about the hijinks of the relationships and big personalities as well. But also, like you mentioned, a lot of the shows that you mentioned also feature a lot of those characteristics. But as in any reality show.
Yeah, that was like my little takeaway there. Had Doug mentioned, if he wanted his show to be like balls to the wall and just let him do free reign with it, that would have probably gotten me right there to Doug.
Yeah, but honestly, as well, I would love to see both of these shows.
I would love to see both of them.
Get that on Patreon exclusive or on Ession. Hey, Kirsten, what's up? Can you make this a show? Let's make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so some of our viewers are who they are going for. Now, let's see. Who did they go for specifically today? We got Malcolm going with Doug. Also Kelsey, big fan of the dinosaurs. My little brother is a raptor, literally. There you go. Jake Clacavetta is going with Doug on this one. And let's see. I was like, most of these here that I can see are mostly focused on Doug today. I see also some people have not given their vote. Lucas, shot check. Have not given their vote. I'm sorry, my husband's in the next room.
Hubby Lucas.
My hubby Lucas is in the next room and he didn't vote. Why the fuck didn't he vote?
Lucas, why didn't you vote, dude? Why didn't you vote?
Why didn't he vote? Let's see some others. Paul, I didn't see you voting either. It's in Jeremiah Morris as well. He was like also, but let's be honest. I would say we also have some people in the audience that are really excited that they actually want to be on, for sure. So I'll be excited to chat with them over it. Okay, now, for this one, it looks like Doug is the winner. So congratulations.
Well, there's closing debate. There's closing debate. There's closing debate. We forgot about that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're right. Now we have to do closing debate. We can completely do that. Yes. Okay. Scratch that, everyone. You know what? Never mind. We're not going to be doing it yet. That's true. I am very mad about Sunday. That's very true. Okay, we have to do closing debate. Okay, in this case, let's start with Wiley.
All right, let me get my timer.
And again, we have 60 seconds on the clock. Let's hear it.
And go.
Okay, so you keep on going after the scripted things. Okay, yeah, we said that everything is scripted. But the thing is when you're watching a Schmoedown match, and after it's done and after it's finished, it gets over with. You already forget about it. The things that you care about is the reactions of the players that were in it. And the reality show, you would not focus on the Schmoedown. You would focus on around it, which, again, like I said, so after they prepare for the match, the end of the season, the other half will be about after the match and how they incorporate if they lost or won and how they felt with dealing with that. And also with your show, you say it'll be like Hell's Kitchen, but that would just be taking content from the main Schmoedown, which would not be interesting when you had the same things. It's like watching American Idol, but watching them prepare for American Idol. You don't want to see that.
You still have 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. T-Rex.
That was a brand new argument that we had not heard before, Todd.
Wow.
Okay.
Got to step up my game a little bit.
So, okay. All right. That was some big argument there, dropping some new bombs. Okay. And what about you, Doug? Let's hear your closing statement. 60 seconds on the clock. Ryan, hit it.
Two of the highest rated sports shows ever to be watched that were reality shows are one Hard Knocks and one Ultimate Fighter. You're getting those two shows because, let's be honest, this is a mental sport. You are getting a mental sport and you're making and expanding and showing what these players go through and how they deal with each other. That's reality. I understand all reality scripted. I'm sorry, not all reality scripted. You want to know why? Ultimate Fighter's not, Hard Knocks are not, and those deal with sports. And the people that watch this actually enjoy the sport aspect of it as well. And you know what you get in it? You get the comedy because Kaiser and the Smasher bring the comedy. You also get the awkwardness of Paul Oyama and Eric Zipper. You get those characters that you don't necessarily get in reality TV because they're not, they're not sports people in the normal world.
Whoo-sa! Okay. Wow.
Say, Doug, I just want to clarify. You talked about the examples you really wanted to go off of You mentioned some of the most important shows were
The most important sports reality shows.
sports reality
The
shows.
highest rated sports
Yes.
reality shows
Was
were
it-
Hard Knocks for HBO
Yes, I
and
remember that.
were Ultimate Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter. Okay, and so bringing it in would be. It would really draw inspiration from that as like drawing from a team, but at the same time having personalities like Zipper and Oyama where they're clearly like you said more camera shy, like you said, it would be more would be better for non-sports people to watch it essentially.
Yeah, like that. That's
That
your
would be the argument? Okay.
inside. I mean, like I said, none of them are actual sports. None of them are playing sports. But the mental capacity of this league is a sports league. It's a mental sports league.
Ooh, okay. This
This is intense. Okay.
This is a very intense first
Man,
round.
my mind was changed around quite a little bit from this. I'm not gonna lie. This was definitely up to the next level. Okay, now we're not gonna go into who wins this first one. Okay, because it's going up on Facebook. It's going up on Facebook here pretty soon. And people are actually voting as we speak as we speak on Facebook for who should win this initial match. And so before we kind of go into that, we're going to go on to our second question. So our second question, everybody, get excited. I'm actually more excited for this one than the other one. Okay, Brian, you want to do the honors and read our second question today?
Yes. Second question for everybody. Which team, current, past, whichever, all time, do you think should star in a buddy cop movie? This is oh Lord. I cannot wait to see what these guys have to debate about.
I'm pretty psyched. I really am. Okay, so for this opening one, we're gonna flip the coin again. And Wiley, you got Bateman. Cassell, you got Ghai. Let's do this. I'm gonna flip it on the floor.
Jake. Action Guy is the only
It's
answer.
Ghai.
No, Cassell, you have to go first this time around.
Whew. Okay.
So let's hear that opening statement.
And go.
Audience, judges, esteemed panels of the judges. Let me pitch a movie for you real quick. I want to go in the era of Lethal Weapon, in the era of 48 Hours. And what do those two films kind of have in common? An aging cop put up with a budding rising star, someone who might be on the edge a little bit, but shows a little bit of a nice guy or has some really good heart. And the reason I went with this team is because we have kind of an elderly statesman in Drew McWeeny, and we have kind of the wild gun with a golden heart, because if you ever knew him in person or talked to him in person, he's got a golden heart. He's a super nice guy. On personality-wise, he is definitely the wild gun, and that's Andrew Ghai. I went with the family. Think of it, guys. Think about it. Drew McWeeny just getting to the thing of being too old for this, and Andrew Ghai brings him back in.
All right. Oh, man. It is so hard for me not to be biased right now.
I concur.
It's so hard not to be biased because I want to see that.
Wiley, make the right decision on your.
I know. I'm not going to be biased. Everyone, I just want to.
Same here. I'm not going to be biased.
I am going to try my damnness to not be biased. Okay, and Wiley, who is your choice for what team, current or prior, retired or whatever, needs to have their own buddy cop movie?
Top 10. So picture it. It's Texas in 2019. Okay, it's late and it's night, and then you're just driving through the road, and it opens called Top 10, and it starts out with an Old Town Road remix by Billy Joel. Okay, and it happens, and then you got John Roca. Okay, John the freaking outlaw Roca. He is there. He is a cop. But his friend is drunk on the porch, and he's sitting there watching basketball games, and he's tired of it, but he still wants to be a part of the game. You see that a little bit in him. Matt Nost, okay? Matt Nost wearing his Hawaiian basketball shirts all the time. And they get together and like, hey, man, this guy, Johnny Utah, okay, he's coming back. He's coming back, and we got to take him down finally. 20 years ago, we tried to get him, but we couldn't get him quite yet. But then he gets Matt Nost off the porch. He's not drinking anymore, and he's ready to go. And they get in the car, and they start playing the song.
Literally, when the T-Rex went up, I think Ghai went at the same time.
Oh my gosh! I want to watch. I want to put a GoFundMe page for both of these. They both sound so fucking good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Personally, Top 10 was the team that got me excited about this. Like, when I first joined, became a Schmoebates fan. I was a Roca girl. I really, really was. Everyone, my cat is giving me my love and attention.
Jake, you are.
To be fair, I only picked Billy Joel because I couldn't say Johnny Cash because he's dead.
Not only
I could still use his music.
Okay.
No, but he didn't make a song for that. He didn't make a remix.
His music still lives on.
Yeah.
So Johnny Cash's music still lives on. I would love to hear a Johnny Cash version of it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
Take me down to the hotel
road.
It would be amazing.
I'm gonna ride to the can't no more. And it's like so haunting and depressing, which is why I love Hurt so much. It's such a beautiful rendition of the song.
Oh
I agree, Kat. Okay, Alex, what do you think about this opening statements between these two?
Like I said, I mean, it really comes down to I really love both of them. I could really get a vivid picture of both of them. Specifically, Cassell, he did bring up several movies that that helped clarify it a little bit better, such as Lethal Weapon and things like that. And, a lot of this tradition of, these really well-known, iconic buddy cop movies. Now versus Todd, I mean,
It's original. It's original, guys. It's original.
Malcolm's comment: T-Rex and Action Cat in a buddy cop movie.
Please,
yeah, let's make that happen.
That'd be an interesting one. What if the cat was the brains of the operations? It's gotta meet the Robinson field, okay, guys? My arms are too small.
I can't reach anything. Don't worry.
See, and the cat would help him in that.
That's the real thing. He's just too damn fucking fat. That's the truth. All right. Awesome. Well, something I also am really kind of curious to see who you guys would in it. I mean, like, what would the plot look like? What would the plot look like? Like I said, who would the villain be? What would their Schmoedown skills, specifically individually, behind the scenes, when training or whatever it may be, under the lights, how would that be relevant to, solving a crime or working together, getting shit done? Okay, you're gonna answer that.
No. I want to make a quick point to Lucas real quick. Lucas, you haven't heard my whole plot point and don't realize why I picked the family. That's not fair that you give me minus 15 points. Listen to my plot.
Which that was gonna be like what I wanted you guys to talk about in your, and when you guys are debating in this round. So That I literally thought about that in my head, and then Alex just, or in this case Scarlett Johansson here, stole my idea, and it was just like, you see, this is why both of us we thought the same. We thought the same.
That's it. There you go.
Yep. Alrighty, debate round. Both of you guys are gonna fight to the death. Explain the plots for your buddy cop movie, your villain, all that stuff. You guys ready to go?
I'm ready.
Is Action Cat ready to go?
He's never ready to go. He's never ready to go. Let's be honest.
Here we go. 4 minutes on the clock, starting now.
So the date is November 27th, 2019. And Robert Meyer Burnett, the chief of the office, brings in Drew McWeeny and tells him he's got a brand new partner. Drew McWeeney's like 3 days away from retirement. You know, when it's 3 days away from retirement, you want to end up dead, but not this time, because he's got a wild gun on his side. And Andrew Ghai walks in and he's like, I got you, boss. We're here to take down, get this, the villains, Mark Riley and Ben Bateman. For being a traitor to his own kind. He was on the SWAT force and killed his entire force, and they got to hunt him down.
Okay, so Scott Mance is the villain of the top 10 show. Okay, that's the thing that's going to happen. Okay, so think about it. Okay, John Roca, the outlaw, and you got Matt Nose on the other side, and they're driving down the highway, and who's in there? He's sitting there in his lawn chair with his glasses on, like Data from Star Trek, and he's sitting there, and he's just standing there, and he's like, you're not gonna pass me, okay? So then they get out of there, and John Roca wants to go punch Scott Mance so he can get out so they can drive to go get Johnny Utah. But here's the thing. Matt Nose has to calm down Roca so he doesn't act irrational. And John and he starts using basketball terms. But then, of course, you get John Roca heated at the same time as the basketball terms show up. So therefore, they have a battle of movie trivia to see who wins. And then you got Scott Mance there yelling at him saying, I'm going to win, and smiling and stuff. And John Roca can't handle it because the deep and devilness that is lied beneath him in his soul.
All right, so real quick, I got a problem with your villain. If you think Scott Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates, is a villain because he puts a smile on his face every day of the week, you could see Mark Riley as a villain at one point. You could see, because it looked like he was doing it with Ben at one point. You can see Ben as the bad guy in that film because he's been a heel. He showed you that side. For you to say Scott Mance is the villain,
it's because he has a fake smile. He's like the Joker. He's like the Joker. Okay,
you didn't even pick their best. You didn't even pick the best rivalry, the rivalry for their own. Which
the
is
Patriots.
The
okay,
Patriots.
Fine. The Patriots don't matter.
But here's the thing.
Man,
here's the problem. Here's the
problem.
Here's the problem with your story. You pulled it to a movie trivia. The question is best buddy cop movie, which means it's got to be involved in cops. Here's what it is. It's a drug smuggling ring that they have to bust down. It's the basis for every basic buddy cop movie that there is. And it's kind of perfect.
It's different.
But do you really want different when you watch a buddy cop movie?
It's different because Scott Mance is a different type of villain. He has a smile on his face. He's like the Joker. Batman has to stoop down to Joker's level to be able to beat him. Just exactly like Scott Mance is. He knows movies the best, and Roken knows it. Okay, Matt Nose doesn't know shit. Okay, he only knows a couple.
20 seconds.
Okay, and that's the thing. They got to stoop down to the level to defeat them, like in every cop movie ever.
But that's not going to work. The reason is Roca's already proved that he can beat Scott Mance. The problem is you chose the worst villains. You already chose the worst villains. You didn't choose the best rivalry.
One.
Holy shit.
God. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I'm
Wiley,
definitely
regardless of what
something. I
happens.
don't know if entertained is the
job.
right word, but I'm thoroughly thrilled by both of these arguments. That's for sure. Before we go to closing statements, see, I remember that time. I'm just saying, I remember a closing statement that time. Everyone, Brian and I, we're attempting to gather our thoughts together. So
Yeah.
tell us what you think. What do you think as Mance as the villain? Who's the boss as the villain? Coming together on basketball knowledge and trivia, and kind of drawing on that inspiration of McQueenie being the almost retired cop with 3 days left to get the bad guy, that kind of thing. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys kind of think of these debates? Specifically, did you feel like you saw a clear winner? Did you feel like you saw a clear loser? By extension, were there any particular points that you loved or hated? Let's hear it. Lucas says minus 10 points for making me waste my time typing out.
But then he came back from that and he says plus 15 points for getting that right hand in there.
Whammy. All right. Jake Cluckvet says, I love this debate. Salute to both you also. Great job, guys. I agree. Jeremy said, I give to Def for his points. Specifically, he went with a specific buddy cop movie and like traditional premise for sure. Okay, first of all, Jake, as well. My facial expressions, I don't know what you're talking about. Nerd Chronic says is going back with your comparison with Mance to the Joker. The Joker puts a smile on his face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And why does Scott Mance as a villain sound appealing? It should have worked, but I can kind of see it.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Absolutely. But yeah. And also, more importantly, everyone, we want you to know Action Cat is in there now. And he's referring to his office over yonder. Meow. 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 Meow.
Now Action Cat can bother Lucas as much as he wants.
Hopefully. Knock on wood. For sure.
There you go.
And also at the very end, I don't want to be on this anymore because these guys are actually legitimately good. So you're inspiring. That's for sure. Okay.
Well, he left already.
All right, awesome. Okay, guys, we posted. Okay, we're gonna make our closing statements here in a hot second. But please go to Facebook and make your get your votes cast. I just posted the thing in the Facebook group here a hot minute ago. So please cast your vote. Did you vote for directly after our closing statements again? Brian, what were your big takeaways for this?
Okay, the number one takeaway that I will mention was that I love when Doug just says that it wasn't relating to the topic. I agree. And even Cat agrees. Cat agrees as well. Says he wasn't relating to the topic, and I like that. But and then it was like seeing Mance as a Joker type of villain would be interesting to watch.
Who's in here?
At the same time, I love how Doug's premise of it is a buddy cop movie that you would love to watch. And then yes, we vote chaotically. I agree with that. Wiley came out and says, Mance looks like Data from Star Trek. It's a battle of movie trivia. Roka gets heated, which Roka gets heated all the time. Now this is just personal bias right now, so I'm gonna take this out of the way. if I would have seen a buddy cop movie, with top 10 being in like a Western type of movie, kind of what was it, like Hell or High Water? If it was like that kind of like buddy cop movie there in like a Western time
That's
period.
a buddy cop movie.
No, I would.
In a way.
I'm just playing with you.
In a way.
Just playing with you.
Jeez, if you would have mentioned that, I would have been like, okay, that then it would have been a little bit more difficult for me to go for it. But honestly, I would have to give it to Doug on this one.
Don't make any of that. No, we're not going to make that assumption yet. I made that mistake in the first question. We're not going to pull that bullshit again. So we're not going to do it. We're not going to do that. Don't do it, fat bastard. Don't do it, fat bastard.
Please make a gift of this.
No, remember, that bastard, he like walks around like in my belly.
In my belly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just too hungry. I'm thinking about this.
Chilies, back ribs, barbecue sauce.
All right, awesome. Okay. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and check the chats real quick and see who how the votes are doing. Let's see. Oh shoot.
Yes, shoot is right.
Whammy.
Shoot for the stars.
Ooh. All right. Okay.
I'm looking on the Facebook page right now.
Me too.
For question number 2.
For question number 1. Being, which team do you think should start? Okay, sorry, we're the wrong one. For question number 1, B. I know I did. Did I put the same question in both?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, son of a bitch!
No, I got 2 different questions.
I'm like a fucking mess.
Well, on the Facebook page, it says question number 1: which one do you think would star in a buddy cop movie, Dungeon and Horseman? Question number 2: which one do you think would star in a buddy cop movie, Family or Top 10?
Oh,
so that's on the Facebook. So, Alex.
Yes.
What is wrong with you, Alex? Are you feeling okay? Are you sure you're feeling okay, Alex?
You know what? I got back from work, okay, like 10 minutes prior to recording, so shut your face.
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not okay. That's not at all times.
Yes, reach for the stars.
But
reach for that Mac Daddy.
From what I saw, though, Doug did win the first round, and also first from votes on here. But also, what I saw on my phone though, was like for the second round, however, the winner of which faction?
Closings.
I'm sorry.
Do we get closings?
Yes, we do get closing.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We're just getting too excited here, guys. You're like a debate person, and so you're like getting like twitchy, aren't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I need
to close. I need to close.
Guys.
Always be closing, guys. Always be
ABC.
Closing.
Alec Baldwin.
I mean, I know the reference you guys are talking about, but I've never saw the movie.
Glenn Glary and Ross, right? Isn't that?
Yeah,
never
Glenn
seen
Glary,
it as well.
Glenn Ross. Yeah,
never
it's a good
movie.
I got showed it when I was trying to be a car salesman. They were like, "Watch this movie," and I was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna go try and do what they did." Sold a bunch of cars. It works.
Alrighty. So since Doug started off with his opening statement, we will have Doug as well start off with his closing statement. Mm-hmm. Now, this time, what would the ending of the movie look like? And and then encapsulate everything all together, the entirety of it. So, what would the ending of it look like? And then after that, the entire thing. Okay. You have 1 minute. We have 1 minute on the clock. Once you hear the T-Rex roar in the background, that means it's over, motherfuckers.
Whammy.
Time's up, motherfuckers. That's how Alex would put it last week.
I would if my throat allowed me to go that high.
Well, you at least have T-Rex in the background to shit
Well,
the face.
we can practice that later. We can practice
Okay, ready? 1 minute on the clock. Starting now.
So my movie's already been told that it's kind of predictable. You're gonna know where the ending is. You're gonna know where the ending goes. The reason being is because Drew McQueenie really falls in love with his partner and finds a connection with his partner that he hasn't found in years. The reason that you go with this is because it's been a proving force. When it comes to buddy cop films, you want something feel good, you want something heart pounding, you don't know where it's going to end almost. Like, they're going to end up together normally at a time. You could pull Bad Boys 2. But here's the thing. When it comes down to it, his is not a buddy cop movie. It's a movie that ends in movie trivia. It's not a movie with no real risk. Mine actually has a little bit of risk. Ben Bateman and Mark Riley could end up killing the two of them, or, they live. But here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a heartwarming story at the end with action and thrills.
Ooh. Okay.
That got intense. Really painting that picture there with heart and thrills. All right. Closing statement for you, Wiley. You have 60 seconds on the clock to make your closing statement again. And what does the ending look like?
Yes. And go.
So after they defeat Scott Mance, the car breaks down, so they have to go to the end riding on horses and blazing saddles. And they go to the saloon to fight Johnny Utah. And what happens is because Roka's gotten old and he's been in the game for a while, he turns out to break his ankle. So therefore, they have to do a 1v1 basketball game with Matt Nose schooling Johnny Utah and winning the game. Okay, yeah, you say everyone loves a routine and it proves to be the one that makes successes. But what people enjoy more is something new and creative. When you see all these movies that are done like the Disney remakes, the thing that gets praises the most is the ones that do something new with the story. This is a new story. It's not based around the Schmoedown. It's based around the characters that they have made within the show.
10.
You said that it was about the show and the connections they made, which rely on that, which you, in my show, you don't have to rely on that.
1. I love this T-Rex roar. I love this.
It sounds like he's in pain because he can't reach food.
Yeah.
Whammy.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shnikes.
You all right there, Alex?
No, holy shnikes. I'm looking at the pole thingy.
The pole thingy?
The pole thingamajig. Yes. Oh, okay. Interesting.
I love Lucas's comment.
Bonus twist is that they genuinely.
Pretty interesting.
Oh.
The for a buddy cop. The twist is that they were murderers the whole time. I'd be into that.
The bonus twist. Best buddy cop movie mixed with Memento ever.
Directed by the Coen brothers.
Oh my God. If that were to happen, that would be legendary.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou meets Memento meets Lethal Weapon.
Lion King was a profitable remake and did nothing new. There you go.
It's pretty the new Lion King movie, rewatching it and all stuff. I have it on digital.
Roka's gotten old. That fucker's been old since A New Hope came out.
No, he's actually older than that. He was actually around during the Civil War.
Yeah.
So
how dare you?
I remember when I was in the Civil War.
I remember when films cost 15 cents and 5 more cents for popcorn and pop.
I also remember the time when I just went into.
You y'all need to calm your shit. Good lord, that is terrible. Okay, everyone, yeah, so I apologize for the vote thing on Facebook. I did not play that correctly. I did not copy and paste the right question for question number 1.
I remember when I first saw George Washington as the president of the United States. It was the best thing ever.
Had all his real teeth. It wasn't till later that he lost them.
That's terrifying. Okay.
We have lost our minds.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. Okay. So we have a whole bunch of votes in here. We have a whole bunch of votes. The question was, the question was, which faction deserves their own reality show? And
if you can make a quick edit of that, like Lucas said, you can make a quick edit for the post you made for question number 1.
Oh, it says I can't technically. I can't edit posts, and it says polls can't be edited once they receive votes. But everyone knew what I was talking about, right? Everyone knew.
Yeah.
I was referring to like question number 1, the reality show one. So everyone knew. Even though I copied and pasted the wrong one. Sorry. But looking at it, now we have 6 votes with Doug Cassell, the Dungeon, with Luke, Malcolm, Russell, Jeremiah, and Will voting in favor of the Dungeon and the Horseman. It was Brian's. Now, for the second one, the question being, which team do you think should star in a buddy cop movie? In this one, it was a little bit closer, with Doug Cassell again at 5, with the family, with Kelsey, Jake, Jeremiah, Thomas, and Ryan. And then Wiley Todd with Lucas as well as Malcolm. So having Lucas there is like having 5 votes right there. Honestly, let's be honest, guys. Okay, so with that being said, and your winner, Doug Cassell. Good job, Doug.
Thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. That was so much fun, and thank you so much for really being a hoot and have with those questions and getting creative with them. I know we were. Lucas, calm your shit. You calm your shit, okay, dude. He's just in the next room and he's just jealous. He's not like.
Wow.
He's just jealous. He has to like keep the cats down and calm. But. Yeah, thanks so much for hopping on. We gave you those questions only a few hours ago, so you guys had very little time to prep. How'd you guys choose your teams for these questions?
The Dungeon was pretty easy. I was like, reality show. We just saw what they can do with a reality show. It's pretty simple to just put a reality show in their hands. The pre-cut stuff that was basically the Kaiser and Smets kind of journey through the world where they're at what was it? It was I forget which video it was. I know it's not the train conductor, and I know it's not the no, it's when they enter Universal Studios.
The Harry Potter world. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you see what it is throughout everything. So it was like that's a no-brainer. I'm going with the Dungeon. It's definitely something that'll be interesting to watch, especially for people that want to see the behind the scenes stuff, like most people do.
Yeah. So I mean, I totally agree. I mean, like seeing them on their social media, really kind of posting those videos and everything, and really kind of making it canon and being part of SCN and like the matches and everything is really neat. But yeah, you taking advantage of that. What about you, Wiley? What got you excited to choose the top 10 and the the Horsemen for your team?
I honestly just picked my favorites, the ones that inspired me the most. The top 10 show has been like Probably my favorite podcast I listen to next to the Cinephiles. I'm just a big Roca fanboy. But the reason I picked the Five Horsemen for the debate for that first question was because it was really really lining on the Tom Dagnino part of it, because like they always say, every person part of the faction says he's a great manager, but we haven't seen him do anything besides what he does on stage. So like, what is he doing behind the scenes? Like, what is he doing to help? Because we hear what Emma does and Roxy does, but what does Tom Dagnino do? Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. I know. Who was it? Riley and Ben. They've mentioned a handful of times, like during SEN or like their action unfiltered kind of thing, that like when they're in the middle of a match and Dagnino's there, like, and they're like, they have Dagnino come up and be like, yeah, what should I stick with this category? During the wheel spin or whatever. Dagnino's like apparently like giving them like legit weird bad advice. Like, no, you should really go for the 70s, a decade that you know nothing about. Or you should go for classics, whatever it may be.
Does he really do that?
Apparently he that's what Ben and Riley said a long time ago, but I know it's been a while. But I know here pretty soon on Call to Action, we're gonna actually have a pretty in-depth conversation about what makes a manager, let alone specifically a good manager. So, and what the role of managers in general. I mean, that's going to be a pretty in-depth one. Hopefully, we can get like a guest or two on as well. So, who knows? All right. All right. Cassell and Wiley. Now, Wiley, do you have any like parting thoughts, leaving today's debate? I mean, do you feel like you want to kick Cassell in the face? Do you feel like do you feel like there's any obvious points you wish you had made or anything along those lines?
Well, first of all, Cassell, congratulations. A very good job. Very worthy competitor. A lot more difficult than doing the last debate on the Team Action one, which I got crushed by Lucas or Luke or where the hell his name is. This one felt a little bit more even, but it definitely seemed like you had your thoughts more together. Like you can look, I made like bullet points on like sticky notes of what I was gonna say. I didn't really have like a clear thought when I was going or the direction. I was just pulling down bullet points because that's how I think. But I think I did probably the best I could. I was passionate, I tried my best, and you just had stronger thoughts, and you basically had what everyone else wanted in mind, which I didn't. So I was trying to do something different, new.
No, and even that, like with your points, it was like you really had a lot of good, strong points that just kept both of us just being like, "Whoa."
Like, yeah, there was one you mentioned. I think you honestly probably would have won the first one if you because you mentioned in your closing statement it would have been like almost like a redo of a lot of stuff that's being used on SEN. Honestly, and you don't want to just like reuse, like recycle a lot of those scenes or whatever the situation is, and I was like, oh, that was a new thing, new bullet point I didn't even think of. I wish I had known that during the actual arguments. So
I love Paul's comment. Dagnino's a winner. Always rub off on others.
That's true. That's a fact. That's absolutely true. Yeah, it's weird. Dagnino and Lucas are actually like low key, almost best friends. Well, fun fact for you, almost. But his real best friend is actually Ben. Not to brag. But,
That's a humble brag.
Just a humble. Oh, it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Okay, and what's like, Cassell, you won today, so congratulations again. Do you have any major like parting thoughts, like going away from today's match? Do you kind of wish that you did anything different or anything along those lines?
No, I mean, not having prep time, there's really nothing that you can do. It's going with what you know. It's going with what you can flip about it, because I kind of already knew the arguments that he was going to try and make against me.
Mhm.
And Wiley, you killed it, man. Don't hold your head down. Keep your head up, because you're really good. You are a good debater. And it just takes time. It takes focus. It's something that you learn throughout everything. So, but overall, and the reason that I picked Family was not to pander. It was literally between Shazam and the Family. And Shazam, they're too similar. They're too nice. Whereas the Family, you have that wild gun and you have the old man, and it makes a really good pairing.
A little
so
more
that's
traditional, like buddy cop dynamic.
Yeah, and that was my whole thing. I went for a buddy cop. I wanted that buddy cop film. Malcolm, people love buddy cop films for the way they are, so they're going to continue to be the way they are. Look at Bad Boys. Look at Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Bad Boys. What you gonna
Don't
do?
it.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, you're gonna wait to punch through the screen, Brian, if you do that.
Listen, it takes time to learn those lines.
All right. Okay.
I wasn't trying to sing the other part of it. Okay, I only know the beginning part of it.
Well, I think that's the only part that anyone. Okay. Okay, we're gonna wrap things up over here. Also, and Brian, thank you so much for hopping on. I mean, did you like being on the host? I know we did some troubleshooting and we did some things and stuff like that. Are you ever gonna come back? Do you think I'll ever ask you to come back?
I know you'll ask me to come back on for sure. Will I love to come back on? Yes, I do. I will always love to come back on. And I will love to come back on when I release the full song for Ladies Night. So, and if you guys want to listen to the clip of it, it's on my Twitter right there, DJ Brian. That is my social media plug. So yeah, you can find it on my Twitter. And it's also on my SoundCloud as well. So if you guys look up soundcloud.com/DJ Brian, same way that it's right there, you'll be able to find my SoundCloud there. The clip of it is right there. So please give it a listen, everybody. It's already at like 5 listens. Really? But I've heard a lot of like my close friends and all stuff who are musicians and whatnot, and they said that they really like it. And when I played like the full song for them, they were just like, "You have something good there."
Yeah, I like to. I personally have listened to it. I don't have SoundCloud, but I have. But I listened to like what you gave me. You gave me like the full minute thing of it, and I've listened to that like 20 times. I feel like, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like I played it like in my car coming home here. So
nice.
Yeah, I did. I did. I was getting gas, and I'd like start playing. I was like, Although with all my bad dance moves. All right, Cassell, where can we find you?
Right now, I'm kind of. You can find me over in Take 3. I joined the Reactor Summit. I do some reactions. Listen, we're on a truce. We are supportive of each other. All right, let's keep the truce going.
You're right. No,
please keep it going.
No, I mean, like seriously, fellow reactors. Yeah, absolutely. It's
And then I'm also posting about the D&D group, which one of your fellow C2A members is a part of, Kelsey. It's awesome to have you a part of that. Go check out the Avengers Transvail. You can look it up on YouTube. We're really trying to get this thing off the ground. It's a lot of fun. New episode up this week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm working on the edits right now. Also, if you like to support things in the community, we would love you to come over to patreon.com/the Adventures Transvail. That's a lot of words. And support the show. Thanks, guys.
And you said it's a D&D show?
It is a D&D campaign. Yeah, it's a playthrough campaign.
Why was I not notified by this? Why was I not notified by this? I have my D&D dice, man. And I have been wanting to play D&D with a bunch of people. You know what? I'm gonna make a persuasion check to see if you would love to have me on.
There you go. Make a note of that. And Wiley,
that is a natural 20.
Where can we find you?
So natural 20.
I've From like 2 years ago, I started my own company called Guideline Entertainment. Wearing one of the
wow,
T-shirts
awesome.
right now.
Yeah.
So basically, I do reviews. I have many different shows, short films, just a bunch of stuff that I have wanted to do to how to kind of to build my portfolio. I've had interviews with Emma5 RB3 that I did 2 years ago, Ryan Snelling, all those people.
Yeah.
And then, of course, main thing right now is movie reviews and then T-shirts. But you can find that all at www.guidelineentertainment.com. So
Wangers? Wangers? Where you at?
Oh, I see what you did there. All right. Well, Malcolm wants you to know, reactors assemble. Let's all team to take down D2A.
Yes. Yes.
That's my favorite.
Make a meme out of that.
Jeremiah.
Somebody make a meme out of Alex's face there, please.
Listen,
Somebody
we already did.
That's her shit rat face. That's her shit rat face.
We did the most ambitious reactor crossover ever, so which was nice.
Oh my gosh! Again, thank you guys so much, everyone that's been hanging out and voting for us. Thank you so much for participating and hanging out. It's been a fucking blast. I know it's late. We are out. Thank you again. We'll see you guys on another call to action show at some point.
Wait, you didn't plug where everybody can find call to action at.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube here. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. I run the Twitter page. Come check us out. If you're interacting with it, you're interacting with me. We call to action pod right there. Check it out. It's all real fun. We post a lot of really cool shit. Reactions. We do interviews. We're gonna be interviewing Mark Riley here this Monday. So it's going to be a real fun time. We get a whole bunch of stuff stacked till the end of the fucking year. And a lot of us are going to be down in Spectacular, down in New York. We're going to be eating some pizza. It's going to be an awesome fucking time with Action House.
And getting drunk in New York as well.
And on White Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and remember, full song that I'm making for Ladies Night is coming out in December. Make sure you guys keep a lookout on that, and you guys want to listen to the clip right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just
right there. Awesome.
New York, yes, New York.
All right. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah!